All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to race number 1, night number 2 of week 2. This is the Dirt Midgets. As of right now, it looks like we have 6 cars out here practicing. Really quick, we are going to go ahead and put up the points for these guys. There you see the points. Matthew Mateer is leading the points. Second is the Austin Medea. Third, Brody Brown. Fourth, Corey Kerstetter. Tied for fourth with Kerstetter is Falcon Smith. Sixth is Ian Humphries and Gavin Chatham. Rounds out the 7 cars that showed up last week. This week we do have 6 cars with Brody Brown and I believe Gavin Chatham not making the call out here tonight. But it should be a good race. 6 cars. We had a good one last week at Fairbury in these midgets. We are going to go ahead and I will get ready to ask you to please rise for the playing of the National Anthem.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were blare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We got about 8 minutes left in practice here. Your fastest driver in practice is Austin Medea at a 12.846. Matthew Mateer is second with a 13.104. Ian Humphries is third with a 13.159. Falcon Smith is sitting fourth right now with a 13.278. Christopher Forsyth sitting fifth with a 13.407. And Corey Kerstetter is rounding out the drivers that have taken a time with a 13.548. All 6 of your drivers are within 7/10 of a second. Your top 5 are within half a second of each other. So I am expecting there to be pretty good racing tonight. If you did not tune into the broadcast last night during the interviews, I did mention that I was reading back on the history of Kokomo Speedway. And Kokomo was actually built just with midgets and micros in mind, and then as popularity of the track grew, they brought in more cars. And for those of you that watch USAC, you know that Kokomo is huge slot for the USAC, both sprint cars and midgets, the non-wing sprint cars and the midgets. Pretty much a staple of both the sprint and Indiana midget weeks over there for USAC. About 6 minutes left to go in practice. Corey Kerstetter is the only one that has moved. He went ahead and jumped up over Chris Forsyth, so now the entire field is within half a second. Track will be resetting for qualifying, and then we are going to let it carry over from there. Many of these drivers not used to the lack of downforce that these midgets have, as pretty much your entire field out here, if not the entire field out here, came to Thunder Racing League as wing sprint car drivers. Not sure how much midget racing they have outside the league. The midgets are once again a new series for Thunder Racing League here in Season 3A. We have gone from a purely wing sprint car league to now hosting pretty much every dirt car there is on the sim. Weekly action includes the modified and wing sprint cars for Sunday night. The Monday night program is non-wings and late models, and then Wednesday is a challenge series, which is literally every dirt car they have on the sim. And we do a step-up program here at TRL, so Season 3A here is the 358 modifieds, 305 sprint Sunday night. Monday night is midgets and limited late models. And then once again, Wednesday night is that Thunder Throwdown Challenge Series where every dirt car is in the drawing. This week, coming up in 2 nights, the drivers will be climbing back into a 358 as the 358 got the draw. And Corey Kerstetter with a big jump, moving from 5th to 3rd as he's starting to find some speed out there on that track. Just ran a 13:042, put him .197 behind Austin Medea. The field now, as they get some practice laps in, are all within 0.4 of a second. Christopher Forsyth has that 6th and final spot as of right now. .388 behind the leader. So these guys are definitely closing up their gaps in speed, and the better they get, the more comfortable they get in these cars, the quicker they're going to get, and the closer the racing's going to be tonight. Again, 2.5 minutes. We have 6 cars that have shown up for action tonight. All 6 drivers have made practice laps. And it looks like everybody has pulled off the track for the drivers' meeting. Couple notes from the 305 race last night, or from last night's action in general. Brian Gunderson, up running third place, ended up receiving an EOL. I can't remember whether that was the 358 or 305 race, but I believe 358's running third ended up receiving an EOL as he was caught jumping the start. Ended up getting a black flag for that. Our protocol here at Thunder Racing League is if you have a black flag and you ask for it to be cleared for jumping the start and you did jump the start, we will clear that black and send you to the back. And then Bob Evertson received a disqualification last night as he entered the track under green flag conditions. According to the rule book for Thunder Racing League, we do not allow drivers to enter the track under green flag for everybody's safety, both the driver re-entering and the drivers already on track. And the penalty for that is a disqualification, so Bobby Evertson was disqualified for that as well last night. Those are the notes from last night that I may have confused people. We have about 10 seconds left in practice here, getting ready to fire up qualifying. It'll be one heat tonight. We do up to 8 car heats, so we will have one heat tonight. We'll do the 3 Wide Thunder thank you, and then we will go racing for feature action. It'll be 25 laps. Waiting for cars to come out on track. And Christopher Forsyth is the first one on track. We're going to go ahead and take his 2 laps with him. As you see him up towards the top, trying to get that momentum to come down the front straightaway to take the green flag. Pitches it into 1, right up alongside the wall, keeping it nice and straight through turn 1. Pitching it into 3 and 4, running about 2 car lengths off the wall. Oh, and lap 2 is not going to count. He might have got the wall before the start-finish line. For lap 1 not to count either. Matthew Mateer right now. P1 with a 13.441. As we are watching Matt Mateer come down for his second lap. Or no, this is Austin Medea, I apologize. Medea on lap 1, a 13.154. 13.154 for Austin Medea. Lap 2 is a 13.007. That is quick time. 34 of Falcon Smith on his final lap. Did not improve. First lap was a 13.538. Second lap was a 14.102. Ian Humphries coming down to take the white flag, I believe. Green flag. That's the green flag for Ian Humphries. As he's running nice and low, right up close to that wall to take the white flag. That lap a 13.489. 13.489 putting Ian Humphries in third. Lap number 2 as he comes out of turn number 4. 13.633. His quick lap was a 13.489 on lap 1. Right now, You see them up there. Your qualifying order as they sit is the 20 of Austin Medea, the 64 of Matt Mateer, the 26 of Ian Humphries, and the 34 of Falcon Smith. We do know that Chris Forsyth got in the wall during his qualifying. It is possible that the same happened to Kerstetter. He does have 2 minutes if he has not already tried to qualify. We do want to thank everybody that's watching. If you are watching this, go ahead and please subscribe, hit that bell, and then go ahead and comment and share as well. Let's get as many eyes on these cars as we can and help Thunder Racing League grow even more than what we have. Believe it or not, guys, a lot of people will join a league when they see the advertising or see the streams online. So if you're a driver, go ahead and share the stream. We will definitely be grateful to see more eyes on these broadcasts. Well, thank you, Mark. Have you subscribed? Liked, commented, shared? Well, obviously you commented. Have you hit that bell? Let you know when we're live. 30 seconds left here in qualifying. And at this point, I believe Kerstetter probably did not get 2 clean laps in. I feel as though he may have suffered the same fate as the 225 of Forsyth. Corey last week was able to bring home a 4th place finish in the feature. So he'll be one to watch as he's going to have to move up through the field. Your starting lineup for heat number 1 will be, trying to see their tail tanks. That is the 26. I believe Austin Medea, yes, Austin Medea on the pole. To his outside, the 64 of Matt Mateer. Inside row number 2 is that 26 of Ian Humphries. To his outside is the 34 of Falcon Smith. And in rounding out the field, I do see the 225 out there of Forsyth. I do not see the, low 19's out there. Little confusing on the way they were lined up, but we will go to the battle up front. And it is the top 3, bumper to bumper, nose to tail, especially back here for this 2nd place. Although Matt Mateer getting a good run to the high side of Austin Medea, trying to make that high side work. It's dangerous territory up there, but look at the run he gets coming off the straightaway, running that high side. Decides to take more of a midline through 3 and 4. Humphries and Mateer right next to each other, still trying to chase down Medea. Mateer getting such a good run off that high side, little bit sideways off the 4. Humphries even more sideways on the inside though. That allows Mateer to go ahead and get clear, trying to track down Austin Medea. Little further back. It looks like you got a battle. Let's see. Between Corey Kerstetter driving that Taylor Reimer paint scheme, buzzball paint scheme, working the high side of Falcon Smith, gets the run down the front straightaway as the white flag is out. Austin Medea has this one in the bag. Ian Humphries second. Somebody hard in the wall. Humphrey, well, I'm not sure what's... Not sure your running order there. It looks like things got a little messed up, but... well... We do have the 3-wide Thunder. Thank you. Getting ready to start now. I will go ahead and pull Mark up here so he can let the drivers know to burn it in when we are done with the call. Little bit of I know you're watching the stream, but there's a bit of a delay there, so. Yeah. Watching them start to line up here. Looks like we're missing one car. Not sure who that is. It's Corey driving that 25. That Taylor Reimer paint scheme kind of has it. Had me a little bit confused there during that heat race. I hear the third one coming now. Not a missing man tonight.
That's not a missing man, guys. Fill all 3 rows, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they come out of turn number 4. They are 3 wide to tell each and every one of you thank you for the support and views. It's the 3-wide Thunder. Thank you.
All right, guys, burn in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let them burn it in here. Get the track a little bit more racy for feature time. They got about 2.5 minutes to make laps and get some more practice in, make some final adjustments on these cars. But with that, I will go ahead and mute my mic and let you guys enjoy the action. All right, that does it for warm-up. As we get ready to go A-main racing, 25 laps around this quarter mile in these midgets. Your starting lineup on the inside of the front row will be the 20 of Austin Medea. To his outside, the 34 of Falcon Smith. Inside row number 2, the 019 of Corey Kerstetter. Driving that 25 Buzzballs of Kaylee Reimer car. To his outside, it is the 64 of Matthew Mateer. Rolling off 5th is the 26 of Ian Humphries, and to his outside, the 225 of Christopher Forsyth. Definitely liking that Buzzballs Cara Taylor Reimer. Right here from my neck of the woods, Taylor is out of Bixby, Oklahoma. OSU champion cheerleader, on top of running a midget full time for, I believe she runs for Keith Koontz Motorsports. It's awesome to see a representation of that. All right, Austin Medea has the field coming into 3. It is on him when he fires. He's now into 4, and he's on the loud pedal. Good jump into turn number 1, but they are 3 wide behind him. Here they are, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all right there, 2 by 2, 3 by 3. Now they dive into 1 and 2. Looks like Matthew Mateer getting a good run on that high side. Still working up high, getting that big run off. Falcon Smith trying to somewhat follow him, running that midline. But look at the 225 of Forsyth. Trying to work his way up into 3rd, running that wall. Into 4th. Looked like he had it that time by. Now he's got to track down Ian Humphries. Definitely closed on him on the back straightaway there. Runs that high line once again with a good run down the front straightaway. Oh, and he's in hard into the wall. Pirouetting down into the turn. Almost keeps it on 4 wheels. Ends up slowly tipping it right there at the end. Man, he had a good run going. 5 down, 20 to go. They're going to go ahead and stack them back up. Austin Medea, your leader. Matthew Mateer 2nd. Ian Humphries running 3rd. 4th will now be Corey Kerstetter. And 5th will be Falcon Smith. Waiting to see if Forsyth gets back out on the track. It is unlikely that he will. There is no guaranteed time in the pit unless it is multiple cars. And that is only until halfway that they have the guaranteed time. Looks like Matthew Mateer picking that high side. That high side's been working for him good all night long. And Medea bringing him down nice and slow into 3. And now on the loud pedal coming out of 4. Doesn't quite get the jump, but Ian Humphries has a good restart. Able to hold off. But was able to fend him off into 1, but Mateer running that high side, had the run. Oh, slams the door. Now Mateer, almost a slide job. Humphries and Mateer, oh, they make contact coming into 3. That's going to allow Kerstetter to move into this battle for the 2nd place. Kerstetter working that high side on Mateer. Mateer trying to find the grip down low. Kerstetter working high. Gonna have a run coming off of 4. Not quite there. Mateer slams the door. Kerstetter cuts down. Mateer now with a good run on Humphries. Coming through 1 and 2. This is the battle on the track right now for second. It looks as though Humphries has started to gap Mateer a little bit. As I say that, Mateer gets a big run into 3. And Humphries gets sideways. That's going to hand second place over to Mateer. Humphries not giving up on that bottom side yet. As they dive down into 3 and 4. Looks like Mateer running a little bit of a cut down line there. That allows Humphries to close back in. Humphries able to pull alongside mid-turn running that lower line. But the high side just keeps prevailing right now with momentum on the high side. Mateer almost getting the wall there. Out front, halfway, almost a 2-second lead for Austin Medea. Corey Kerstetter starting to fall back from that battle for second place. And further back, you do have Falcon Smith. We will join that battle again as they are still side by side for this second place. Right now, give the nod to Mateer. Humphries still working that inside, trying to get a little bit of grip down there. Maybe hoping for Mateer to bobble on the high side just a little bit. Mateer working the lower groove through 3, or the middle groove through 3 and 4 that time. Right back up to the wall in 1 and 2. This time Humphries follows him a little higher, but loses some ground. As we get them pretty well single filed out. Mateer right up alongside the wall. Right there, you see the gap between first and second, and then the gap between second and third. You catch glimpses of the fourth place of Kerstetter every now and then. You can see a couple different lines as they work through the turns. Right now, we go up front with your leader. Gonna watch him. Watch the lines he's running. Looks like that was somewhat of a cut down in 3 and 4. Right just under the cushion in 1 and 2. Runs that lower line in 3 and 4. That lap lets her slide up to the wall. 3 laps to go. Austin Medea does not want to see a caution as he's pretty well got this one in the bag with a 3-second lead. And then you're looking over 2 seconds between second and third. And then another 2 seconds back to fourth. Everybody's gapped out a decent amount here as the doctor's jacket goes up in the air for the 20 of Austin Medea. You see a little bit of traffic. He's not going to catch it. Checkered flag to Austin Medea. Matthew Mateer second. Ian Humphries third. Fourth is Corey Kerstetter. Fifth is Falcon Smith. And then rounding out the field was the 225 of Christopher Forsyth as Medea takes an extra lap just to make sure. We'll go ahead and get them pulled up onto victory lane. All right, and there you have it. There are your top 3, ladies and gentlemen. Now we'll go ahead and wait for them to get in the waiting room. Got those cars spaced out quite a bit. And I'm telling you guys, if we can fill out these midget fields for you drivers that are watching, if we can get these midget fields filled out, lap traffic makes these exciting You could see the runs that the 64 of Mateer was getting. You end up with some hellacious slide jobs when you start working through traffic. But with that, your winner, Austin Medea, is in the waiting room. We will go ahead and pull him up. Congratulations, Austin. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Go ahead, walk us through your night.
It helped starting out on front. I wanted to start out front because I knew Mateer was going to be fast one tonight, and with the track being tacky, it was going to be tough to pass. So I was able to figure out a line earlier in practice, so I felt comfortable if I could get out in front that I would be able to run that line and just kind of run away from everybody battling back behind.
Yeah, Mateer was definitely trying to come. It was getting some major runs off that high side. I don't know if you had your relative up or had your mirrors up or anything like that and seen that he had them coming, but yeah, he was getting some major runs and he was a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I figured he was coming. I saw the relative at the one point because I was sitting there. I thought I cut myself short on fuel, so I was hanging around the bottom and saw a lap car, and I was like, I don't want to catch him because I knew if I was getting stuck behind him, and Mateer would be right there. But I went back to that line that I said high to low, and I was able to kind of put a little bit of a gap between us then.
Yeah. So you're not going to be in the late model race, is that correct?
Probably not now.
All right. So how are your chances in the cars that you're running, or how do you feel your chances are for going to Eldora next week?
I feel pretty confident in Eldora for the midgets and for the 305s. Still trying to figure out the modifieds, but we'll see.
All right. Any sponsors, shout outs, anybody you want to thank for getting you here tonight?
I want to thank the guys at Black Bullet Racing, Admin Box, Derek LLC, Mimi's Making a Motion, Du Bois Welding, Getting Mobiles Repaired, Getting Hooked, W Energy, and CTFX Design. You guys at Thunder Racing League for putting this on and getting people's feet wet in different divisions, and for you doing the broadcast, and for Spitz doing race control.
All right. Well, definitely appreciate you coming out and supporting it, and congratulations on another win. And we will see you next week at Eldora.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, Jay.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. That was your winner, the 20 of Austin Medea. Coming home second was the 64, and the one that was definitely making it fun to watch, Matt Mateer. You got a copy, Matt?
Hey, what's going on?
Man, second place, those runs off the high side were amazing. Like, you were catching people like they were standing still. I think Humphries found something a little bit low as he was getting door to door with you by mid turn, though. Walk us through your night and what was going through your head.
You know what? I treated it just like Fairbury. I wanted to run the little high side. That's my comfortable spot, is run the high side with these, of all things. Well, especially with these cars, like you could throw a higher gear and run that low side just like Medea and some of the other guys. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try something different. If we get a good car count, I'm just gonna run the top and see what happens. And so, I definitely thought if this was a more well-rounded, like we had a 20 car count, whole different story. It definitely would have been a whole different story. But I mean, kudos to Medea and Humphreys. The low side was money for them overall, and I mean, high side's my line. I It's my favorite. It's my go-to.
Only one caution tonight when Forsyth caught the wall himself. Do you think another caution late in that race would have maybe helped you get around Medea?
Yeah, I think so. Medea was slower in turns 1 and 2. I could have caught him because that was my bread and butter on the start. However, 3 and 4, it was his. I could not catch him off 3 and 4 whatsoever. He had a great runoff on the bottom. I was trying to basically do a high up and in and then cut down to keep momentum and come across to just stay within several seconds with him. But it definitely would have been a barn. It would have been close if I would have gotten that restart.
All right. And you're going to be running the late models here in a little bit or the 358s on Wednesday?
Yep, I will be 358s. I'll see what I can do. I think I might be able to make that one, but I know tonight I definitely will make the late models. I've been trying to with Thunder do all the other stuff besides the sprint cars because I mean I run so much sprint cars with this league that I kind of wanted to take a break from it and focus on trying to see if I can make the qualifier for the pros coming up here soon. So I just kind of like I've kind of made this like my fun season while trying to be prepared going into this qualifier.
Yeah, and absolutely. If you're trying to do those pro qualifiers, you definitely don't want to be jumping into a 305 and take you out of the rhythm of those 410s. That is for sure and definitely understandable. So hopefully we'll see it. Hopefully you. How do you feel about your chances in that late model? If I didn't ask that already.
Well, given the fact that I've kind of got a good feel for the high side and just by how a lot of guys race, I think I'll probably be doing the same thing. Letting it rip, get a feel for where the car is and its spatial awareness, and just run the high side like it is. Because even with the sprint cars, a lot of the lines are close to the same as with 305s. So if you run the 305 race, you can automatically tell yourself, okay, this is what's going to be for the limited. So automatically, all right, 305, I already know the fastest line keeps the most momentum is the top. So therefore, the top is the safest bet to run, but then you got to make sure that late game that you can run at least the bottom or be able to run the slick after everything kind of gets dusted off.
Yeah, absolutely. If tides hold true to last week, the late models are going to have the most amount of cars out of anybody this week. So things are going to dust off pretty good, I think, coming up here in a little bit. But so
Yeah.
definitely something to watch out for, and I think we'll get a little bit of dry slick there, which is going to make the racing even funner. So.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, I expect at least a 3-car wide coming around one turn at least. So this track is always fun. It's always challenging, especially with how much room you get in the corners to be able to you know be able to just go around guys. But at the same time, you got to watch the pinch points coming off the turns because guys are going to be sending it so hard. So definitely got to watch out for that.
All right. Any sponsor shout outs? Anybody you want to thank for getting you here tonight?
I'd like to thank my girlfriend for picking up an extra shift tonight, allowing me to race tonight. I'd like to thank Evil Empire. I'd like to thank 60 feet and 6 inches. I got the new skin for them for Derek Holland. It's a baseball in my car. I thought that was pretty slick. I'd like to thank ABR Setups. I'd like to thank I'd like to thank all my sponsors. Y'all have a great night.
All right.
Got too
Congratulations
many.
on the podium, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you a lot more throughout the season.
I will do.
All right, that was your second place finisher, Matt Mateer. Now we're going to go ahead and bring up the third place finisher, the one that was giving Matt a run for his money quite a bit there, Ian Humphries. You got a copy, Ian?
Yep. How's it going?
All right, just talked to you. What was it, last night?
Yeah, Sunday night. Yep.
Yeah, all right. Well, another podium, so congratulations on that. Walk us through your night, and is there anything you could have done to get around Matt or possibly even Medea?
Night started off not too bad. Kind of felt pretty confident there. We qualified third, started third in the heat. Kind of had challenged for second place there towards the end off I think it was the white flag there, and he got into my right rear. I just got up a little bit up in front of him. I guess kind of not necessarily throwing a slider, but just getting the run off turn 4 there for the last lap. So that ended up ending our race in the heat there. So we finished last, I believe, as far as that. Going into the feature, gritting, I think we started 5th there. Was just hoping for a clean race last week, and we unfortunately took ourselves out by flipping, catching the right front in the wall. So I was just looking for a decent finish tonight, and to come away with third place again after last night in a 358 for 2 cars I don't typically race at all compared to the sprint cars. So overall, very happy with what I came out with as a result. As far as catching him, I definitely felt like we had him. I definitely felt like I made the mistake I think it was probably about lap 15 or so when we were side by side. I was on the high side for a little bit, and I let him get above me, and that's when he was able to pull away on the high side. And I was doing pretty good on the low side, I think, but just kind of let him get that run on me and get away.
All right. And then are you getting ready to climb into the late model here in a little while?
I can't make it. I got the playoffs for Xfinity race tonight at Texas, so I'm getting ready to hop into another league to go run that. Otherwise, I would be there tonight for the limited. I probably will be there next week and continue on from there.
All right. What about Wednesday night? You going to be in the 358 again Wednesday? I can't remember if you said you would or not.
I think I might possibly show up for that. It depends on my schedule. I would like to hopefully try to make it just to try to get more seat time in the car, especially because, again, not being a car I typically race itself. So plan is, fingers crossed, we should be able to make it for Wednesday night and be fun to get another run in that car. So.
All right. And just in case we don't see you Wednesday night, how do you feel about your chances going into Eldora?
Pretty good, especially after kind of turning things around after a rough first week going into the season opener there. I definitely feel like, coming in for 2 top 3s out of the 3 runs so far for the week has definitely been pretty confident boosting for my side of things. And again, like I said, not being 2 cars I typically run, just to be able to get those podium finishes and actually kind of get some comfortability and get some seat time has definitely been able to improve. So I'm hoping the chances are good, and hopefully we can't go for either a win or maybe, if not, at worst, a second place coming in Eldora.
All right. Any sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting you here tonight?
I want to shout out Chris over at Drill and Spike Designs for making our wraps for everything, all of my merch and all that. I also want to give a shout out to McConey Setup Shop for making some fast setups. Like, also to give a shout out to everyone on Skitty Pedal Down Racing Team, everyone that supports the channel, everything like that. Otherwise, that's it. And thank you guys for putting on a good show.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out and supporting. Without drivers, we wouldn't have a league. So thank you for coming out every week, and congratulations on another podium.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. And that was your 3rd place finisher, Ian Humphries. Chris Forsyth is still sitting up here in race control, so we're going to go ahead and do a special one tonight and bring down the hard luck driver. Chris, you got a copy. He may have gone out to do some personal stuff sitting up there, as we do have about 25 minutes until the late model lobby opens. It appears as though he may have. We were going to try to give him a hard luck interview, but not there. So with that, we will go ahead and throw up our sponsors and do some sponsors and shout outs. We want to thank Sneed Game Farms for the Sneed Game Farm Dedicated Driver Award. That is a $10 bonus to the person who makes the most qualifying attempts among the 5 across all 5 series. School of Sim Racing providing our fixed setups for the Wednesday Night Thunder Throwdown Challenge Series. Stevens Family Performance, they are a financial backer. Look them up on Facebook. Giddings Mobile Repair for your automotive repair needs in and around the Tulsa area. They are a financial backer of the league as well. Diamond Designs, giving a free wrap to every series champion. So handed out 5 wraps. That's over $100 value in total in wraps there. And then Veterans and Warriors One-Stop Shop, last but not least, by far. They are a nonprofit organization that Thunder Racing League has teamed up with to help end veteran suicide. If you want to donate, look up Veterans and Warriors One-Stop Shop on Facebook and send them a message asking how to donate. Or if you are in the league Discord, go ahead and tag Justin Jones. He does have the VWAS by his name. Tag him and ask him how to donate through Discord. And then another option is coming up in November, we have the 3rd annual Salute to Our Veterans 100. Half the money we bring in from that race will also be donated to Veterans and Warriors One-Stop Shop. And with that, we are going to go ahead and log off. We will fire up a new stream for the limited late models here. They go qualifying at about 8 o'clock, so we will probably fire it up about 7:45 or so. With that, we hope that you enjoyed the show and hope to see you back for the limited